The Hungary national football team represents Hungary in international football and is controlled by the Hungarian Football Federation. It has a respectable football history, having won 3 Olympic titles, finishing runners-up in the 1938 and 1954 FIFA World Cups, and third in the 1964 UEFA European Football Championship. Hungary revolutionized the sport in the 1950s, laying the tactical fundamentals of total football and dominating international football with a remarkable golden team which included legend Ferenc Puskás, top goalscorer of the 20th century, whom FIFA dedicated its newest award, the Puskás Award. The side of that era has the second all-time highest Football Elo ranking in the world, with 2166 in 1954, and one of the longest undefeated runs in football history, remaining unbeaten in 31 games, spanning over more than 4 years and including matches such as the Match of the Century. The post-Golden Age decade saw a gradually weakening Hungary, though recently there is renewal in all aspects. The Hungarian Children's Football Federation was founded in 2008, as youth development thrives. For the first time in Hungarian football's history, they hosted the 2010 UEFA Futsal Championship in Budapest and Debrecen, the first time the MLS staged a UEFA Finals tournament. Also, the national teams have produced some surprise successes such as beating Euro 2004 winner Greece 3 Euro 2 and 2006 FIFA World Cup winner Italy 3 Euro 1. Although they have not qualified for a major tournament's finals since 1986, they came semi-finalists at the 2008 European Under-19 Championship and qualified for the 2009 FIFA U20 World Cup, which saw their U20 national team gaining third place to bring home Hungary's first major tournament medal in nearly half a century, feeding their hopes of a future revival. Younger talents such as Balázs Tsutsike, Vladimir Koman and Adolm Szalai, having graduated from the U17, U19, and U21 teams, now play for the senior squad. History: although Austria and Hungary were constituent countries of the dual monarchy known as the Austro-Hungarian Empire, they formed separate football associations and teams around the start of the 20th century. The 1910s. The national side first appeared at the Summer Olympic Games in 1912 in Stockholm, Sweden. The team had to ask for donations in order to be able to go to the games. Hungary played with the England and lost 7-0 and thus were eliminated. After the Olympic Games, Hungary played 2 matches against Russia in Moscow. The first match was won by 9-0 while the second 12-0, which is still a record of the national side. The top scorer of the 2 matches was Schlosser, who scored 7 goals. The beginning of World War I had a deep impact on the thriving Hungarian football. Not only was the country suffering financial problems but the clubs were too. During World War I, Hungary played Austria 16 times. In 1919, England claimed the exclusion of the Central Powers from FIFA. Since FIFA refused England's plea, the British and the Irish associations decided to resign from FIFA. The 1920s, Budapest was denied the opportunity to host the Summer Olympics in 1920, therefore it was held in Belgium. Moreover, the countries of the Central Powers were excluded from the Olympics. During this period the Vogel brothers played in the national team. The formation the Hungarians used was 2-3-5, which was unique at that time. In 1924 the national team played at the Summer Olympics in Paris, France. In the first match Hungary beat Poland, but in the second round they lost to Egypt. As a consequence, both the head coach and the head of the Hungarian Football Federation resigned. Between 1927 and 1930 Hungary participated in the Europa Cup, which is considered as the first international tournament, with Austria, Czechoslovakia, Switzerland, Russia, and Yugoslavia. In the final Hungary lost to Russia. On June 12, 1927 Hungary beat France by 13-1, which is still a record. Jakub Zsef Tarka CS scored 6 goals against France. The 1930s, silver medal at the 1938 FIFA World Cup. The first World Cup was held in Uruguay in 1930. Hungary did not take part in the tournament since they were not invited and there were no qualification matches. Therefore, Hungary first appeared in the World Cup in Italy where the 1934 FIFA World Cup was held. Hungary's first World Cup match was played against Egypt on May 27, 1934. In the end the match was won for Euro 2. The goals were scored by Telki, Toldi and Vinch. In the quarter-finals Hungary faced neighbouring arch-rivals Austria and lost to Euro 1. The only Hungarian goal was scored by Zárosi. The 1938 FIFA World Cup was held in France. The first match was played against Dutch East Indies and Hungary won 6-0. Zárosi and Zangela Copywriter scored twice while Kahut and Toldi also scored a goal each. In the quarter-finals Hungary played with Switzerland and the match was won 2-0 thanks to a goal by Zárosi and Zangela Copywriter each. The semi-finals at the Parc des Princes in Paris Hungary played against Sweden and won 5-1. Zárosi and Zangela Copywriter's hat-trick sent them to the 1938 FIFA World Cup final. In the final Hungary faced Italy at the Stade Olympique de Colombe in Paris. The final result was 4-2 to Italy. The Hungarian goals were scored by Titkos and Zárosi. The 1950s, the golden era. Hungarian football was best known for being one of the most formidable and influential sides in football history, which revolutionized the play of the game. Centered around the dynamic and potent quartet of strikers Ferenc Puskás, Zsándor Kocsis, attacking half-back Jakub Zsef Bocik and withdrawn striker Nándor Hidegkuti, the ironic sapper of the magnificent Magyars, captivated the football world with an exciting brand of play drawn from new tactical nuances and amassed, barring the 1954 World Cup final, a remarkable record of 46 victories, 6 ties, and no defeats from May 14, 1950 until they lost 3-1 to Turkey on February 19, 1956. On November 25, 1953 took place the match of the century between England and Hungary at the Wembley Stadium, London, England. The English team were unbeaten for 90 years at home. In front of 105,000 spectators Nándor Hidegkuti scored the first Hungarian goal in the first minute. In the first half the result was 4-2 to Hungary. The Hungarian goals were scored by Nándor Hidegkuti and Ferenc Puskás. In the second half the Hungarians scored twice which resulted the most important victory of the Hungarians in the 20th century. The final result was 6-3. On May 23, 1954 the Hungarian national team beat England by 7-1, which has been the biggest defeat of England, at the Puskás Ferenc Stadium. At that time in Hungary there was a saying about the match which is the following: Az angolok így ha copyright jar paragraph ttek a copyright s7-1 rementken English, the English came for a week and went home with 7-1. The 1954 FIFA World Cup was held in Switzerland. The first match was played against South Korea and Hungary won by 9-0 at the Hartturm in Zurich. In the second group match Hungary played against West Germany and won the match by 8-3 at the St. Jacob Stadium in Basel. In the quarter-finals Hungary beat Brazil 4-2 at the Wankdorf Stadium in Bern. In the semi-finals Hungary played with the 2-times World Cup winner Uruguay in Lausanne. Hungary won by 4-2 after extra time. In the final Hungary faced with West Germany again. Although Hungary won the group match against the Germans, they lost 3-2 in the final in Bern at the Wankdorf Stadium. The Golden Team, built around the legendary Ferenc Puskás, led early 2-0, but ended up 2-3 in a game the Germans subsequently christened the Miracle of Bern. In 2010 journalist Eric Eggers speculates in a study that the Germany team may have used drugs to beat the Hungarian team, which were considered invincible at that time. Hungary qualified for the 1958 FIFA World Cup which was held in Sweden. Hungary played their first match against Wales at the Jan Vallen Stadium in Sandviken and the final result was 1-1. The second group match was played against the host country, Sweden. Hungary lost 2-1 in the Rajen Sunda Stadium, Solna. Although Hungary won their last group match against Mexico at the Jan Vallen Stadium in Sandvinken, they were eliminated from the World Cup after losing a playoff to Wales, who they had drawn level with on points. The Welsh had managed to draw all the group games and then beat the once mighty Hungarians in a playoff match to decide which nation should follow Sweden into the knockout stage. Had goal difference been the decider, Hungary would have gone through, as the Hungarians had a goal ratio 6-3 compared to 2-2 of Wales. As it was, Wales had the honour of meeting Brazil in the quarter-finals and becoming the recipient of young Pelé's first World Cup goal. The 1960s, Hungary qualified for the 1962 FIFA World Cup, which was held in Chile. On May 31, 1962, in the first group match, Hungary beat England by 2-1 thanks to the goals of Tiki and Albert at the Eltinian Stadium in Rancagua in front of 79,038 spectators. The second match on June 3, 1962 was even more convincing against the Bulgarian national side. The match was won by 6-1 in Rancagua. The last group match was against Argentina on June 6, 1962, and the final result was a goalless draw in front of 79,045 spectators in Rancagua. Hungary qualified for the quarter-finals by gaining 5 points and winning the group. In the quarter-finals of the World Cup, Hungary was eliminated by Czechoslovakia by 1-0 at the Eltinian Stadium in Rancagua in front of 11,690 spectators. Hungary qualified for the 1964 European Nations Cup, which was organized in Spain. Hungary played against Spain in the semi-finals of the tournament. The final result was 2-1 after extra time. The only Hungarian goal was scored by Ferenc Puskás. In the third-place playoff, Hungary beat Denmark 3-1 after extra time. Deza Novak scored twice in the extra time. Hungary also managed to qualify for the 1966 FIFA World Cup, which was held in the home of football, England. On July 13, 1966, Hungary lost their first group match against user copyright bios Portugal by 3-1 at the Old Trafford Stadium in Manchester. 2 days later, in the second group match, Hungary beat Brazil thanks to the goals of Bené, Farkas and Mar. Copyright Sar Paragrafli in the Goodison Park in Liverpool. In the last round of the group matches on July 20, 1966, Hungary beat Bulgaria by 3-1. The goals were scored by Mar. Copyright Sar Paragrafli and Bené. Hungary finished second in the group and qualified for the quarter-finals. In the quarter-finals, Hungary were eliminated by the Soviet Union on July 23, 1966 by 2-1 at the Roker Park in Sunderland in front of 26,844 spectators. Flacubria N. Albert was named European Footballer of the Year in 1967. He was the most successful footballer of Ferencváros since the formation of the club, scoring 255 goals in 351 matches from 1958 to Euro 74. The 1970s, Hungary qualified for the finals of the UEFA Euro 1972, which was held in Belgium. In the semi-finals, Hungary played with the Soviet Union and lost 1-0. In the third-place playoff, Hungary lost to Belgium 2-1. The only Hungarian goal was scored by Lajos Kár. Hungary finished fourth in the 1972 UEFA Euro. Hungary participated in the 1978 FIFA World Cup, which was held in Argentina. On June 2, 1978, at the Estadio Monumental in Buenos Aires, Hungary played with Argentina. Although Karolik Sepakub scored an early goal, the home side won the match by 2-1. Hungary played their second group match against Italy and the Azzurri won by 3-1. Hungary's third match was played against Michel Platini's France and Hungary lost 3-1, which resulted the farewell of the national side. The 1980s, sign of decline. During the 1980s, Hungary qualified for the FIFA World Cup twice. The first group match of the 1982 FIFA World Cup in Spain was played against El Salvador and Hungary won by 10-1 at Estadio Novo in Ilk. The goals were scored by Niilasi, Par Paragraph La Paragraph Skew, Vasquez, Tar Cube Th, Kissing Sense. In spite of the big victory, Hungary lost 4-1 to Maradona's Argentina in the second match of the group stages. Maradona scored twice, while the only Hungarian goal was scored by La Paragrafscu with the Estadio Josa copyright Rico Par copyright Res in Alicante. Although Hungary drew in the last match against Belgium, they were eliminated from the World Cup. However, Hungary was leading in the first half thanks to a goal by Varga. Hungary's last World Cup appearance was the 1986 FIFA World Cup in Mexico. In the first match of the group, Hungary lost 6-0 to the Soviet Union. Football experts date the crisis of the Hungarian football from this match. Although Hungary won their second match against Canada by 2-0, they lost to Platini's France 3-0 in the last group match. This has been the last World Cup appearance of the Hungarian national team. The 1990s, nadir. During the 1990s, Hungary were not able to qualify for any international tournaments except for the 1996 Summer Olympics held in Atlanta, the United States. The 1980s were considered as the most bitter years of the Hungarian football, but the 1990s proved to be the worst. In 1996, Hungary reached its lowest FIFA ranking. The fall of the communist regime caused financial problems to many Hungarian clubs. Formerly successful clubs like Ferencváros faced with financial crisis and bankruptcy. This had a deep effect on the Hungarian national team as well, since earlier the biggest clubs from Budapest produced the players for the national side. Another important reason for the decline can be attributed to the Bosman ruling. Since the Hungarian clubs lost the financial aid from the state in the early 1990s, they were not able to compete with the richer European clubs. The crisis in the Hungarian club football affected the performance of the national team. The Hungarian legend Ferenc Puskás was appointed as the head coach of the national side in 1993 in order to bring back the earlier success. However, he led the team during only 4 matches. Consequently, the coaching of the former Omva copyright D and Real Madrid could not change anything. The only remarkable success in the 1990s was the qualification of the Hungarian national team for the 1996 Summer Olympics. Until Dunay's team played its first group match against Nigeria and lost to 1-0 in Orlando, in the United States. In the second group match, Hungary played with Brazil and lost to 3-1. The only Hungarian goal was scored by Puskás. The last group match was played against Japan. Hungary lost to 3-2. The Hungarian goals were scored by Puskás and Tamás Szanda. Although the Olympic qualification of the young team was a big surprise and people thought that Hungary would have a better future in football history, the team never reached any similar success later. In the 1990s, Hungary were the closest to qualify for the 1998 FIFA World Cup, but they were eliminated in the playoffs by FA Yugoslavia. The 2000s, Abyss. The most talented players of the 2000s were Gira and Ardai. Both played abroad. However, other significant players did not emerge in order to form a strong national team, which resulted the consecutive failures of the qualification for the international competitions in the 2000s. Hungary were unable to qualify for the UEFA Euro 2000, 2004, 2008 and for FIFA World Cup 2002, 2006, and 2010. Moreover, during the UEFA Euro 2008 qualification, Hungary finished 6th in their group, reaching their nadir in their football history. They even lost to Malta, which resulted the resignation of Par copyright to Boczyk. Couple of days later, Par copyright to Vardy was appointed, who was famous for his appearances in the Sport 1, Hungarian sport television, and analyzing the Italian Serie A clubs. He proved his talent by beating the 2006 FIFA World Champions Italy by 3-1 at the Ferenc Puskás Stadium in a friendly tie. However, neither Boczyk nor Vardy could do well in the official matches, which resulted their removal. The Hungarian Football Federation even tried out foreign coaches. Both the German Lothar H. the Currencius and the Dutch Erwin Koeman failed to qualify for any tournaments. In the 2000s, only the Hungary U20 team could bring back the emotions of the early years. Hungary won a bronze medal in the 2009 FIFA U20 World Cup in Egypt. the new talents of the U20 team were immediately signed by foreign clubs. Coman to Sampdoria, now copyright Meth to Liverpool, Simon to Palermo. However, the big question was whether they can develop enough to be able to play in the senior team. The 2010s, signs of hope in the Igorvari era. The success trainer of the U20 team Zander Igorvari was nominated as the head coach of the national side. He tried to embed the new talents into the senior team, creating a balance between the younger and the older players. In the Euro 2012 qualifying, Hungary was drawn into Group E. On September 3 Hungary lost 2-0 to Sweden at the Ryan Sunder Stadium, in Solna. In the second match Hungary beat Moldova by 2-1 at the Sosa Ferenc Stadium, Budapest. In the 50th Rudolf and in the 66th Coman scored. On October 8, 2010, Hungary scored 8 goals against San Marino at the Puskás Ferenc Stadium. Salai scored a hat-trick. On October 12, after many years Hungary was able to win away against a team which was ranked ahead. Hungary beat Finland by 2-1 at the Olympic Stadium in Helsinki. Salai's and Tsutsuke's goal resulted the success. In the spring of 2011 Hungary played with World Cup 2010 finalist the Netherlands. At home Hungary was beaten by 4-0, while away 5-3. Although Gera scored twice and Rudolf once, Hungary was unable to win or draw at the Amsterdam Arena. On June 7, 2011 Hungary beat San Marino away by 3-0. On September 2, 2011, Igorvari had to leave out the key people from the national side due to injuries and suspension. In spite of the difficulties Hungary beat Sweden at home. Subic scored against Sweden at the Puskás Ferenc Stadium in the last minutes of the first half. However, Sweden equalized in the second half. A late goal by Rudolf resulted the celebration of 25,000 spectators after beating Sweden by 2-1 at the Puskás Ferenc Stadium. On September 6, 2011, Hungary beat Moldova 2-0 at the Zimbru Stadium in Chiajna Floreanu. An early goal by Vanchike in the 7th minute calmed down the national side, and in the second half a goal by Rudolf secured the victory away in order to stay in the hunt for the play-offs of the Euro 2012 qualifiers. Since Hungary won the 2 matches in September 2011 there was still hope for the play-offs of the Euro 2012 qualifiers. In September 2011 Hungary reached its highest FIFA ranking in the team's history with the 27th position due to the victories over Sweden and Moldova in the qualifiers. In the penultimate round of the Euro 2012 qualifiers Sweden beat Finland away. As a consequence the last match was without any stake for the Hungarian national side, which left its mark on it. Hungary drew with Finland at home. In the last 2 matches of the year 2011 Hungary played with Liechtenstein at home and the Euro 2012 hosts Poland away. On June 1, 2012 in a friendly tie Hungary beat the Czech Republic by 2-1. Igorvari invited Serkuli, copyrights Tsar Rozin Gyurksa cubed for the first time. Gyurksa cubed was the first player from the Puskás Ferenc Academy and he contributed to the success by a late goal. 3 days later Hungary drew with Ireland. Hungary started the FIFA World Cup 2014 qualifying campaign in Group D along with the Netherlands, Turkey, Romania, Estonia and Andorra. Igorvari, head coach of the national team, said in an interview with the FIFA that Netherlands are the favourites and the battle for the second place will be between Romania, Turkey and Hungary. On September 7, Hungary started the FIFA World Cup 2014 qualifying campaign with a 5-0 win over Andorra. Just 4 days later Hungary lost to the Netherlands at home 4-1. On October 12 Tarmo Hajl celebrated his 50th appearance in the national team with a goal against Estonia, which resulted the 1-0 victory over the Baltic linguistic relatives in the FIFA World Cup 2014 qualifiers. 4 days later, on October 16, 2012 Hungary battled back to beat Turkey at home 3-1. In March 2013 Hungary played 2 crucial matches in their group. On March 22, 2013 Hungary drew with Romania at the empty Puskás Ferenc Stadium. Vanchike's header was equalised by Muto's penalty, Waldsucker's penalty was equalized by Chipu's late goal finishing the match 2-2, and on March 26, 2013 Turkey hosted Hungary at the Angströmer 1/4 Saracoğlu Stadium in Istanbul. Paragraph equalizer secured a 1-1 draw in Turkey. Hungary prepared for their crucial autumnal FIFA qualifiers with a 1-1 draw against the Czech Republic at home, and on September 6, 2013 Hungary lost 3-0 to Romania in Bucharest. 4 days later Hungary beat Estonia 5-1 at home. On October 11, 2013 Hungary suffered an 8-1 record defeat at the Amsterdam Arena against the Netherlands, which resulted the resignation of Aguirre. Therefore, on October 14, 2013 Xabi, caretaker, led the team against Andorra in a 2-0 victory. On December 19, 2013, Attila Pinter copywriter was appointed as the head coach of the national team by the Hungarian Football Federation in Telki. Home stadium. The home stadium of the Hungarian national side is the Ferenc Puskás Stadium. The stadium was built between 1948 and 1953 using a large number of volunteers, including soldiers. The stadium was opened in 1953. On May 23, 1954 England lost 7-1 against the Hungarian national team. The capacity of the stadium is 41,000, though its original capacity exceeded the 100,000. The stadium also hosted one of the derbies of Budapest, including Ferencváros, Újpest, MTK, on the copyright deal Vazas. The stadium is going to be demolished after the UEFA Euro 2012 qualifier against Finland in order to replace the old Ferenc Puskás Stadium with a new multi-purpose stadium. Ferenc Puskás Stadium is considered as the primary home of the national side since it does not belong to any clubs. However, the national side plays at different stadia all over Hungary. These stadia are the Czar-cubed Star-cubed I Stadion, ETO Park, Albert Stadion, Sasa Ferenc Stadium, ZTE Arena, and the newly constructed Nagyudi Stadion. Colors and kits. Hungary's traditional home colors are red shirts, white shorts and green socks. The combination of the colors represent the Hungarian flag. However, the team sometimes wears all white kit even at home. The coat of arms are worn on the left side of the shirt, where the human heart can be found. When the Hungarian players listen to the national anthem of Hungary, Hymnus, they put their arms onto their chest. The national anthem is considered beautiful by Hungarians, but many football fans criticize it because of its melancholy, which can have an effect on the players. The actual coat of arms could have always been found on the shirt of the national team, in contrast with many other national teams which wear the logo of the Football Federation. Adidas currently has been the main designer of the Hungary kits. Evolution of the kits. Current kits. Recent times. With the appointment of Erwin Koeman, the Hungarians had high hopes for the 2010 World Cup qualifiers. However, a good start turned to a moderate finish, with Hungary ending up fourth in Group 1, holding close with 16 points to Sweden's 18, Portugal's 19 and Denmark's 21. Albania finished fifth with a deep gap of 9 points, gaining 7, while Malta harvested 1. This qualifying run saw them 3 points away from making it into the World Cup, and the closest they have been since the 1986 World Cup in Mexico. This positive result gave the Hungarians more hope to qualify for UEFA Euro 2012 and, more importantly, the 2014 FIFA World Cup. However, following 2 disappointing season-end defeats to World Cup participants Germany and Netherlands, Erwin Koeman got dismissed as the head coach. 2009 FIFA U20 World Cup bronze medal winner Zsander Aguirre replaced Koeman to coach the senior Hungarian squad at the UEFA Euro 2012 qualifiers. Again, Hungary were in a tight race against the Sweden right up until the last match. However, the Hungarians were eliminated following their nil draw with Finland, and with the Swedes defeating the Netherlands 3-2. Despite not qualifying for the 2012 UEFA Euro, the Hungarian team is currently enjoying a competitive resurgence at the world stage, as they have earned their highest ever FIFA ranking in September 2011, listing at 27 overall. With their best team in recent history, the Hungarians have positive expectations to compete with the Netherlands, Turkey and Romania in Group D of the 2014 FIFA World Cup preliminary draw. UEFA Euro 2012. World Cup 2014. UEFA Euro 2016. Recent results and forthcoming fixtures: 2012, 2013, 2014, Squad, Current Squad. The following players have been called up for the friendly matches against Albania on June 4, 2014 and Kazakhstan on June 7, 2014. Caps and goals up to June 7, 2014. Recent call-ups: the following players have been selected by Hungary in the past 12 months. INJ player withdrew from the squad due to an injury. Coaching staff: former squads, FIFA World Cup, UEFA Euro, competitive record. FIFA World Cup. AAA a gold, AAA a silver, AAA a bronze, UEFA European Championship, honours, international titles, FIFA World Cup. Runner-up, 1938, 1954. UEFA European Championship. Third place, 1964, fourth place, 1972. Olympic football tournament. Gold medal, 1952, 1964, 1968. Silver medal, 1972, bronze medal, 1960. Central European International Cup. Winner, 1936 a Euro 38, 1948 a Euro 53. Nasaz's baton, winners 1941, 1943, 1983, 2007 and 2008. Friendly titles: Copa Kirin, winners 1993. International tournaments in Algeria, winners 1967. Nehru Cup, winners 1983, 1989. Triangular de Oro 1980, winners 1980. Balkan Cup, winners 1947. Records. The match between Austria and Hungary in Vienna in 1902 was the first international match played between two non-British European countries. Hungary was the first team from outside the United Kingdom and Ireland to beat England at home, famously winning 6-3 at Wembley on November 25, 1953. 6 months later they beat England 7-1 in 1954, this time in Budapest. This still ranks as England's record defeat. The trainer responsible for gelling together the elements of the Hungarian side on the 1950s, Gustav V. Siebes, holds the highest ratio of victories per game past 30 matches with 72.06%. Brazil great Vicente Fiel owns the second highest with 71.88%. Hungary owns the records for quality in offensive throughput in a single World Cup finals competition. Football historians often relate to the 27 goals and a goal differential of +17 as records likely never to be passed in the more preventive modern game. Zachendikoksis, along with his record 7 hat-tricks in the international game, owns the single World Cup finals competition's record with 2.2 goals match. In 1953, they also became Central European champions. Hungary has the distinction of setting the highest ELO football rating ever recorded with 2166 points. This was set after their 4-2 victory over Uruguay in the 1954 World Cup semi-final on June 30, 1954, the final match in their 31-game unbeaten streak. They also own the second highest rating of 2156, set in 1956. Brazil owns the third highest with 2153, and Spain with 2142 is fourth. Ferenc Puskás was recognized to be the top scorer of the 20th century, by the IFFHS. Top international goal scorers of the 20th century: 3 of the 6 top international goal scorers of the 20th century were Hungarian, 2 of them from the Golden Team of the 1950s. Undefeated run: Hungary, with its master narrative of being undefeated in the 1950s, also broke one of football's timeless benchmarks, being first to eclipse an 1888 Scotland national football team record of being undefeated in 22 consecutive matches. They bettered the old mark by 9 additional games to 31. Hungary holds the third longest consecutive run of matches unbeaten with 31 international games between May 14, 1950 and July 4, 1954. when they lost the World Cup final to Germany. Spain and Brazil holds the longest string of 35 unbeaten matches. Not official, player history, head coaches. All-time team record. The following table shows Hungary's all-time international record, correct as of September 7, 2012. FIFA ranking, last updated July 4, 2013, notes. Note 1, from January 1999 the FIFA changed the system of the ranking calculation. Note 2, from July 2006 the FIFA changed the system of the ranking calculation, see also, Hungary national under-21 football team, Hungary national under-19 football team, Hungary women's national football team, references. External links, Hungarian Football Federation, tickets related to the Hungarian national football team, old crests of the Hungarian national football team, every Olympic match with the Hungarian national football team, national team, RSSSF archive of results 1902 Euro, RSSSF archive of most capped players and highest goal scorers, RSSSF archive of coaches 1902 Euro, IFFHS archive, 1902 Euro 1910, Hungarian World Cups Planet World Cup / Aaron Exapata Euro The Golden Team, the best website about Hungary's football history, Sport Museum, Hungarian goals.